Good morning, Year 8. It's Mr. Bowman here again with another fun-filled lesson of maths and algebra. So yesterday, this was the lesson we did yesterday. I sort of introduced the idea of using letters in maths. That's what we call algebra. Letters are just there to stand for numbers which we don't want to reveal, or we don't know what they are at the time. So when you see t plus s on the page, it's just the same as looking at 5 plus 4 but not knowing what the answer is. Okay, which sounds a bit pointless at first, but it's actually a really powerful idea and allows us to talk about things in maths that we wouldn't be able to talk about otherwise. I then went on to explain what an expression was. So an expression was basically when you've got some letters added together or subtracted, and each of the individual bits of the sum are called terms. So this is called a t term, this is called an s term, this is called a t term, it just happens to be 3 of them, this is called an s term, there happens to be 4 of them. You can also get t squared terms, s squared terms, and then the whole lesson really, what you had to do, which was a sheet, which was this sheet here, was collecting terms together that are of the same type. So this was the sheet you actually did. So you got the first one right, you would have put 9u plus 13a as your final answer. You collect the u's, you collect the a's, and hopefully you did all that, mark that for yourselves and are up to date. If not, please try and get that done, and remember to turn it into me so I know that you've done it. Photo evidence is appreciated as well. I know it's not always easy for people to do that, but if you can, that's brilliant. It just proves to me that you're doing the work that's being asked of you. So anyway, collecting like terms was what you did yesterday, and there were some examples that I went through here. You have to be a bit careful with negative signs, taking away, because sometimes when you take away, you can go into the negatives as your final answer. For example, 2g take away 6g being minus 4g. So you have to know a little bit about adding and subtracting negative numbers. Oh! Right, well, you might have heard a noise there, and the video kind of paused and then has restarted. That's because I just spilt my coffee all over my desk. Thankfully, it missed my computer, but I've had to clear it all up. So there has been a time delay between when I was speaking to you a moment ago and now. But you won't be aware of that because I paused the recording. But I'm back now, so we will continue. So what's today's lesson about then? Well, we're going to continue on and look today at what you do when you have to deal with a bit of algebra that looks like this. I'm going to just draw it first and then explain what you do. So if you see something like that, and you're being asked to simplify that bit of algebra there, the question is, what do you do? Well, this is a bracket, and it has 2 terms inside. It has an expression inside it, but then the bracket has a number in front of it. So you'll see a number here. Okay, and the question is, what on earth do you do with this number? Well, it's quite simple. What this number means is that you've got 4 lots of the bracket, 4 versions of the bracket. So you haven't got 2t overall, you've got 4 lots of 2t, which is 8t. And you haven't got 3, you've got 4 lots of 3, which is 12. So the final answer is 8t plus 12, like that. Now some people, I'll show you this now, to help them do that, use a little bit of working out on this side of the page. So draw a box like that, and they put the number that's in front of the bracket there, and they put the things that are in the bracket there, like that, and then in the boxes you put the answers that you get when you multiply these together. So 4 lots of 2t, 4 times 2t would be 8t, and 4 times 3 would be 12. Okay, and that tells me that the answer is 8t plus 12. So you can do a little box if it helps you to get to the answer. Or you might just be able to do it from looking at the questions. Let's do another one. So let's have 7, and let's have 5d minus 3. Okay. I got straight to the box this time for this one. So I'm going to draw a box. That will be the shape of your diagram. When we get a little bit more into maths, these will change shape. We'll do some different ones where you get different shape boxes. Not today. So remember, in the boxes go the thing in the bracket. Oh God, no they don't. What am I doing? Oh, so it's messed up. Oh, I was going to tip exit, but I'll just scribble it out. That's because I wasn't thinking. What happens in maths when you stop thinking? I'll do it again. I'll do it properly this time. So what I meant to do was put the 5d and the minus 3 there like that. And then the 7 goes in front of the box like that. Just like I did there. Sorry about that. Right, now anyway, inside the boxes are the answers when you do the multiplication. So 7 times 5d, that's 7 lots of 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Hope you don't have to keep doing that, but you might still be at that stage. That's 35d. And then 7 times minus 3. I don't know how much negative number multiplication you've done with this, but hopefully you do know that a plus times a minus makes a minus. So the answer is minus whatever 7 times 3 is. 7 times 3 is 21. So it's 35d minus 21 is the final answer to that. Now all of the questions in the bronze section are like that, so you shouldn't have too much difficulty with them. When you move on to silver, things have slightly changed, because if you look, they've got sort of letters in front of the brackets as well. I'm just going to show you how you do one of those so you can take on the silvers as well. Okay, so if you had, for example, 3a, and then in the bracket you had 2a plus 5, say, like that. Okay, then, excuse me, again, you can set up your box. I'll try and do it correctly this time, like so. You put I need to put it inside again. Put the 2a there, and the plus 5 there, and you put the 3a there, and you do the times in, like you did before. The only thing is now, is when you do the times in, so we've got 3 times 2 is definitely 6. You have to look to see how many a's there are being times together, and if there's 2 of them, like here, then you have to times the a's together as well. Now when you times an a by an a, you get AA. I showed you this yesterday, I think, wasn't I, here? Okay, so like TT there, that could be AA, or A times A, but you can actually write that as A squared, like I did T squared yesterday. So this here is in fact 6A squared, written like that. Okay, and similarly here, whereas in the previous 2 examples, I would have just put a number, because of that A there, it's not just 15 anymore, it's 15A, because we've got the A as well to take into account. So that means that the final answer to this one is 6A squared plus 15A. Okay, I'm going to do one more example, last example from me today. So suppose I had minus 3, rather than 3 again, it's boring, let's change it to an 8. Minus 8b, bracket, we'll just have b this time, no number in front of it, and then we'll have minus 2, like that. Minus 8b, b minus 2 in the bracket. So, set up my box as usual. B minus 2 go above the box. Minus 8b goes in front of the boxes, like so. And I do the usual thing. So I've got minus 8 times What number am I timesing by here? What number do you think's in front of that B there? Hopefully you can see that it's a 1. It's 1B. It's a B. 1B. So it's minus 8 times 1, which is minus 8. And then count the number of B's there are. There's 2 of them. So it's B squared like that. Now I've got minus 8 times minus 2. Now, do you remember from Mrs. Roberts' work what minus 8 times minus 2 is? 2 minuses being multiplied together turn the answer back into a plus. So it's actually 16. Plus 16, just normal 16. And then we've got this b here, which I'll just stick on the end like that. So the final answer to that one is minus 8b squared plus 16b. And that's it. That's what you're going to be doing today in today's lesson on the worksheet, which I have attached. And here are those questions. There's the bronze. You should be able to take those ones on without too much difficulty. There's the silvers. Hopefully you can give those a bit of a bash as well if you've got time. The golds, which I haven't really explained today, if you're feeling brave, you can have a go at them. It's not really any different from the silver. Perhaps if you looked at a couple of my answers on the answer sheet, you'd be able to work out what they've done, maybe on the first question, to get the answer, and you might be able to take some of the others on. But that's for those that are feeling really keen and really want to show that they're understanding this work. You can take on the gold if you like. But that's it for today. Don't forget to turn in the answers so I know that you've done the work. Have a good day, everybody. That's it for me. Bye for now.